Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. I know you've heard a lot about this building called the CTIM building. Now, trying to come up with what those words mean or those letters mean sometimes can be difficult. Well, we're going to find out more about the CTIM building that is at the Vincennes University Jasper campus site. And we're talking with Ray Niehaus, who is the director for the CTIM. What is CTIM, Ray?
Well, CTIM is Center for Technology, Innovation, and Manufacturing. I mean, we think about technology all the time in education, but we got to understand how we innovate, how the emerging technologies come together for manufacturing. So that's how it came about originally.
Okay, and you were the director, so give us a little background of why Ray Niehaus is so right for CTIM.
Well, I suppose I was chosen more for my background and came from industry. So I have a vast background of polymer, electronics, and aerospace background. So prior to coming involved with education, it just makes the marriage a lot better to have a combination of background from industry as well as education, because that communication here locally is going to make us stronger.
At one time we took a virtual tour, I guess, with Jesse Kleesner, who's our camera guy. We did a walkthrough of the CTIM building as it was being built. Now it's open and looks terrific. How are things with the new building?
Well, I think the things that are happening already in just over the summer, we've gotten technology involved for our companies through various areas. It may be just basic AC/DC electronics, variable motors control, PLC, programmable logic control. That's been a big area to expand and train our local employees in industry. And then recently pneumatics and hydraulics, and we'll continue changing that cycle over and over. And I think anytime we can increase our technology by updating it, and I think that's what we've been doing over the past couple of months, and we'll continue in the future.
Now, this facility is really designed to be very versatile. So today it might be robotics, and a year from now it might be something else.
Well, I think we will always look at emerging technologies. Automation is continually something that happens in all of our local industry, and we have to be aware of that. So programmable logic control, PLC, understanding that, understand robotics, automation and conveyance. Those are all things we have to do in order to be stronger as a community and industry here locally. And then I think we have to still take our technologies we use on a day-to-day basis, improve those. CAD, we don't think about CAD, computer-aided design, how that changes on a day-to-day basis. And every year it changes. And we brought some of the most up-to-date CAD software here just so our industry can be updated and understand how to be beneficial to them in the future.
With the CTIM building, the Center for Technology, Innovation, and Manufacturing, it is on the campus of Vincennes University in Jasper, and it's part of that university. But is this designed for students? Is it designed for manufacturers, or is it designed for both?
Yes and all,
okay.
Bill. No, I think we have to have that combination. We want students that come from high school to come into the campus. We want some students that have been out maybe a couple years. We have students that maybe they're out 10, 15, 20 years, maybe longer. Recently we've even had a group of adults from the area in the 50-year range, and we're talking about they wish they'd have been updated in certain areas. So we've been bringing some of those folks over and instructing them on new processes and technology.
And is this building open to the public? I know it's not necessarily open to the public, but if somebody wants to do something there or try something, is that open to them?
Yes. We've had several people over the summer come by with an idea and talk about how we maybe assist them. Maybe it's just doing a CAD print. Maybe it's discussing 3D printed items. We had a few people this summer that came by and they heard about 3D printing, an emerging technology everybody's talking about. and said, could you help us with our idea of our product and design it via CAD and then print it for us? And we've done that. And we've done that in combination working with local high schools that may have already a 3D printer, and we show them what's going on. Last week we had a laser in on Manufacturer Day, and we had that there just to show some of the woodworking industry, how that can change and what the new technologies are doing for that industry.
Now, you know industry. What do you think is the most fascinating part of the innovation that's coming out of CTIM?
I think initially, I think what we're doing on software and a strategic partnership with Autodesk and how that's changing to make us better at CAD. I think our awareness of everyday automation, PLC, we'll have the most up-to-date PLC training. That's going to be beneficial to companies. And I think just everyday pneumatics and hydraulics. And then where automation is going to go, sensors. Sensors is the largest growing area, and we got to be aware of optical sensors, proximity sensors, and a multitude of other sensors. And we have to help our industry be aware of that technology.
Okay. And you have touched on this, but what is the future because of CTIM for manufacturers locally?
I think making emerging technologies, making them aware of it and the possibility. Many times here in the past several weeks is they've read about it, maybe saw it on the internet, and now we're able to show them it's here, that's what it is, and this is what it can do for you. So I think just making them aware, pure communications, Bill. The communications is probably our biggest downfall in expanding in our industry. And I think we just become a communicated partner. And I'm just pleased with the way industries come together with education, just like Manufacturing Day last week. Seeing students have an opportunity to see things they've never thought about. Seeing community members had no idea what was manufactured locally. We assume that a Jasper Rubber product's making a rubber product only, and we saw last week that's not true. They make many plastic components, and even for the medical industry. So I think that that communication to the community has been fantastic.
There's a term that people use a lot, future-proof. Is the Center for Technology and Innovation and Manufacturing future-proof?
Well, I don't know the answer to that question today. I would say, well, we've got to be ready and we got to be on the leading edge at all times, or else we will become like many communities. We work within the past and we don't see the future, and we have to do both. And I think just being one of those partners from the education side to the industry is just, that's going to be our future.
All right, well, Ray, thank you very much for coming in. Is there anything you'd like to add about the Center for Technology, Innovation, and Manufacturing?
Well, I think the opportunity for Vincennes University to expand here at the Jasper campus has been one of the, I think, just going to be an absolutely plus for the future. And I can't be more pleased with the way the companies and local industry have gotten together and communicated. And now we got to work and fill that pipeline from, it doesn't matter if it's middle school, high school, into college, into the workforce. We have to understand we all have to be part of that, and we have to make sure that pipeline is filled at all times. So I think that's the goal we have for communication, and I know many of the industry as well, and educators.
Ray, thank you very much for coming in. Our guest has been Ray Niehaus. He is the director of the Center for Technology, Innovation, and Manufacturing, located at Vincennes University Jasper campus. If you'd like more information, call the Jasper campus at Vincennes University and find out more. Thanks for being our guest, and thank you for watching WJTS. We are local people watching local people.